Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here with Zafar, an 18-year-old student that's making a living selling sneakers. I'm going to ask him some questions about his way to success and any advice that he has for beginners that want to invest in shoes in order to make a quick buck. So, Zafar, how did you get into sneaker game?
So it all started back in high school. I remember like the Jordan craze was real back then. I didn't have any Jordans, I just couldn't afford them. And I like, I was watching a lot of my friends buy and sell sneakers off each other. So I'm like, you know what, why like, can't I do that either? So I started off, I remember like very well, like a shitty pair of powder blue tens, like creased up, and they were like dirty. And I remember I took them home that day. I cleaned them up. I tried to get the wrinkles out, and I sold them to a friend. And that was like the very first profit I made off sneakers. And I thought, wow, this is great. I should keep doing this.
So, like, I see all these, like, great, really, like, valuable shoes behind you, which are the Yeezys. So, like, how did you get to the point?
So the getting to this point, it took me 3 years, and I think I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm definitely better off than I started. Going from $50 powder blue tens from a buddy to nearly 20 pairs of Yeezys in one release, which is the best I've done so far.
So, like, this really looks like hard work. What information that like you found useful in order to make this happen?
I think the most useful thing I found that fuck.
Keep going, keep going.
I think the most useful thing in the sneaker game is probably persistence, because you're gonna take a lot of L's before you take a W, and that's just how it is.
So like in order to get into all these Yeezys and stuff, it looks like you need a lot of money. How much do you really need to start off with in order to make profit?
Well, like I said, I started off with $50. Like I just used like the resources that was available to me. But if you guys are like older, and might not be in like high school, you might not have the connections to flip sneakers, or like the sneaker game also changed a lot since I was younger. I would suggest a safe amount to start with is like $500.
So like getting those shoes is really hard. Do you have any advice on how to get those shoes?
Yeah, so I personally use sneaker bots, but these like sneaker bots are great, and they. Alright, no, I fucked that shit up. Alright, I personally use sneaker bots. I actually don't think sneaker bots are that great anymore, because before, back in the day, the cost of using and operating a sneaker bot was like pretty much zero, and now it's gone up like drastically. So the margins, they're terrible. So I think like the best thing for a lot of people to do that are just getting started is right after a sneaker release, more specifically Yeezys, go on Facebook groups and go on Twitter. This is where you're gonna find people trying to get rid of the pairs that they just bought. And that's when the market's gonna have the most pairs of Yeezys, and that's just how you're gonna get it the cheapest. And I've been doing this, and it's been working out great.
So like what platforms are the most useful in order to sell my shoes pretty quickly and pretty easily?
That's a great question. I think StockX has by far the best platform. It's the only platform I use, just because of how great they've done it. You don't have to go through any of like the BS of like finding out if the shoes are authentic, or like trying to message the buyer, trying to negotiate a price. Everything is right there for you, and they give you a ton of numbers, and real numbers, and charts even, for you to like figure out where the price of these shoes are going to be 6-12 months from now.
So like with a lot of people that say like this is not really worth the effort and the money and after they fail. So what advice do you have for those people?
It's definitely worth the effort if you like streetwear and sneakers. I've always liked fashion. It's just something that I've always been attracted to. I think fashion is a great way to show yourself as an individual. And it went from my love for fashion to sneakers. And if you have a love for sneakers, I think, or even fashion in general, this is pretty fun. You know, it's like cool. Like it's something enjoyable. It's something that you're gonna want to do. So even when you take an L, you still kind of take a W. You know.
So like all this is based on basically trial and error, correct?
Yeah.
And like, do you have basically any other advice for the people that like have failed and stuff like that?
Buy low, sell high. That's pretty much my only advice. Buy low, sell high.
That's great. And finally, so with the person that's trying to subscribe to this channel, what are you gonna give them? What are you gonna offer them?
So this channel is gonna be about how to invest in sneakers, you know, and for the long term. So that's gonna include like me telling you what sneakers I'm currently investing in and why I'm currently investing in that. So that way you can learn for yourself, like my thought process about how I go about these things, and you can apply these things for yourself and hopefully make a profit.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.